Hi everyone, I just wanted to hop on and answer those questions that you guys were curious about in terms of my branding package offer. And I mean, these questions are valid. This is a really big project, right? You have lots of questions about it. And I definitely don't want to leave you hanging. So I'm going to say here the very first question that's coming up here is, what is the process you're going to walk me through? And I can definitely roll that out. So the project is really big. Branding projects are a huge project. So I like to break them up into phases. So I start with basically the discovery phase. And the discovery phase is a time where I get to know you and you get to know yourself. And we get to learn about your brand together. Getting clear on your type of person that you want to attract. Getting clear on the type of words and adjectives that you want to use to describe your brand. We get clear on that together and we work together in co-creation on that. We also dive into the goals, right? Everyone gets confused about, what do I want to start with? What should go first, right? So this is kind of where I get clear and help you get clear on what is priority right now for yourself. So I take you through the discovery session, and the session is about a week's time because it takes time to get to know you and to develop all of these activities together so that we have the right research going into the project itself. Because we're not starting visuals just yet. We are doing the research that we need to collectively have the data that we need to start with visuals. So once we have the discovery session together, I then take what we've learned and I start curating inspirational boards, which help us to capture the vision that you have. And the images that I use are literally from the internet, Pinterest, and all that stuff. And when we pull from those areas, we're able to just focus on color and focus on, the fonts and the type of imagery we want to use. So this is why I use that type of strategy, because we are pulling from what we've learned in the discovery session and just putting together really quick a prototype of your inspirational board so that we have an idea of where we can take this visually. That's just phase one. Phase two, we jump into design. And design is about starting the logo, taking what we built in the inspirational board and applying it. We're applying that to basically everything within the system for the brand. So what we look for now is we start with the logo, we look at our ideal client that we built together, and then we roll it out into creating the visuals and how to attract them using, what we've pulled from the internet and how we can use that as inspiration to design something amazing and something very authentic to you and the client as well. Because remember, it's always about the client. We always forget that. So that's basically starting in with the system, the visual system and the logo. And then basically closing it off, there is the development phase. But before we jump to the development phase, I do want to say here that given the visuals that we put together, the visual system that we design, basically we close it off, just that phase, the design phase, with a brand style guide that you can use anywhere. So if you have to work with a third-party vendor or hire someone, you're able to do so. And with this book, you'll be able to be consistent all the time. And you can update it whenever you need to. And this is just as you grow through the journey. So we close off that phase. The next phase is development. So depending on what you ask and what you're requesting, I basically pull everything from the designs that we've done and then we apply them to a website design, any kind of social media campaign that you want to do. There's so many different things, but I know right now it's always been websites because of the demand for being online. So just some examples for you, but that's basically how we break it out. So phase one is discovery, phase two is design, and then phase three is development. So I hope that answers that question. Another question that I have here is, does it have to be 6 months? Okay, guys, I mean, I'm just going to be brutally honest here. So the actual base package, without any add-ons and all that, would be a minimum of 3 months, but 6 months is usually the average, depending on what you ask for. It could be a little bit more than that, but I mean, building a brand is a process. It is a lot of work, and it's not going to be something that could be done overnight, and it's not just a logo. So I'm just going to make that clear. It is not just a logo, and there's a lot of other aspects to it. So that's why 6 months is kind of, really long in your space, but I'm coming from my perspective. We are working together on this, so there's going to be lots of back and forth. And, having that back and forth is going to be essential for this process to be very authentic and accurate. So the next question here I have, what if I already have a solid idea of who my ideal client is? Okay, well, you know what? This is great. I mean, if you have an idea already, but you just don't really know how to connect the visuals to them, totally okay. We still have to run the discovery session though, because I do need to understand the type of client you're trying to attract. So that's just something to keep in mind, that even if you're trying to avoid the really long workshop, I have that there because it's mandatory for me to sit down with you and to go through each of the activities so that I can get as much information as possible so I can help you as much as I can. So the ideal client that you have in mind, we are going to craft this person out in a personal profile. And that's going to help us cater the images that really speak to them, and then design a system that's really going to attract them in the end. So having a solid idea in mind rolling into this project is key, because I obviously can't sit with you all day, right? I have, other things that I have to look at too, right? But I want to help you as much as I can. But coming in with an idea in mind really helps me out, because I understand, you're coming to look for help, right? But all the answers are within you, right? I can help you, bounce off of each other some ideas for you. But, in the end, it's coming from you, and you kind of have to know, in your heart, who do you want to help the most? So that's just one point from me. But basically, the more clear you are coming into this, the better that I can help you and be accurate. So the next question here is, what if I already have a visual system in place but does not attract the right clients? Okay, so this will happen because you would more than likely have a brand in place. The only issue now is that you probably, DIY'd the brand to get started, but the visuals don't speak to anybody. So, no worries. I mean, that's with anybody starting. You're just trying to get your feet wet in the industry and get the ball rolling. I understand. But what we can do here is take you through the discovery session, go through the activities and exercises so that we can get clear on the type of person you're trying to speak to. And then we can refine the visuals. So if you kind of like what you have going on, that's good. But what we can do is we can refine the visuals, maybe pivot it a bit if we have to, because that's really all it is, just pivoting. So if you have something in place that's somewhat working, it just needs to be more accurate, then just some fine tuning, and then you're good to go. But yeah, either way, still have to go through that discovery session. So why is the price so high? Okay, so this is a big question. So like I mentioned, branding is a big project. There's a lot involved. I'm not just doing a logo for you. I'm creating a whole brand system. So this is literally from scratch. And it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of your energy too. There's a lot of interactivity between both of us. So especially in the workshop, I'm definitely going to need your participation because I cannot do this alone for the first part. I'm going to need you here and it's time consuming. So again, I'm really emphasizing, that branding is an investment to the business and yourself. And branding brings a lot of value to your business. So that's why it's at a higher price because it's very valuable. You're going to get a lot of value out of this package. And you're going to feel very complete after all of this, confident, ready to go, ready to sell, ready to speak to your client. So I understand, that this is at a price a little bit higher than maybe what you're expecting. But I'm just being very honest that if you're just starting out, then this might not be the package for you right now in this journey that you are in. But maybe given a year or two in time, you can definitely revisit this brand package. But again, branding is a lot of work. So I understand DIYing it for the very first beginning of the journey is okay. I mean, you have to start somewhere. So is there a cheaper package to get a brand design? So right now, I don't really have anything that's a bit cheaper than what I'm offering right now, but I am always open and receptive to what you guys would like to see from me because I'm really trying to explore other options as well, how I can help you guys out in other ways. This is just me starting out as well, trying to figure out, what will really work for you in this time. So feel free to email me at ctostana@cmtdsgn.com or just direct message me on Instagram if you have any inquiries or any ideas for me and ways that I can help you out for, say, an art therapist that's in, stage 1 of their journey running their business. So the next question here is, what if I change my idea through the process? Okay, guys, this is why I'm saying that we have to be pretty clear about, what we, what you want to do. Because the problem here is if you come in and you don't really have any ideas in mind, it's going to be very hard to try and help you out. I can bounce off ideas and brainstorm with you, but again, coming in with somewhat of an idea in mind would be more beneficial to me than trying to figure it out, right? So, I mean, I'll do my best to help you out as much as I can, but it's going to be much harder for me to try and pull any kind of information that I can harness and use to translate into visuals. So that's just something that I would recommend before taking on this package, that you have some kind of goal in mind before just trying to attempt to take on a really big project. All right, so the next question that I have here is how to maintain consistency through the brand once the branding package is complete. Okay, so this is why I'm going to be closing off the package with giving you guys a style guide, because the style guide's going to help you guys to stay on track. You have a system right in the books. I give you all your visual assets that you can use and apply when you need to. If you're still concerned, I always like to check in with my clients every 3 to 6 months, seeing how they're doing, if they need any help. Check in via a brand audit to do a review and see where things can be better, done better, I guess we can say. So that's just something to keep in mind as well when taking on something like this. Will you be able to consistently keep things going? And I'm sure you will. I definitely make sure that your system is very easy to use and that the brand guide book is going to be very helpful to you. So the next question I have here is, do you offer mock designs? Okay, yes, I do. I do offer mock designs. They are a part of the add-ons within the branding package. So if you're looking to get any additional add-ons into the package, it will be at additional cost, but they are available to you if you need it. And right now, with my special offer right now, I am waiving the website homepage mock design if you guys are looking to get your website redesigned. This is a good stage for you to get started. So, do you offer small projects? So, example, just a simple logo design. All right, so for me, I'm going to say no, because if I was just doing a logo design, like strictly nothing else, it's very hard for me to build a logo without doing a discovery session and without kind of getting a system in place, because they all work together and that's important to me. And if you are looking for, just a simple logo design and nothing else, I'm definitely not the designer for that. But I know that there's many other designers online that you can look to get a simpler logo. Hi, Credo Man. So yeah, basically, there are other platforms if you just want to get a logo done. There is a platform such as Fiverr. If you're not really looking to get any other things done. For me, I like to do the whole package because I like to have control of building the whole brand and being able to design something that's completely in unison and run the discovery session so that I understand the client much more. And when I'm able to understand the client much more through that discovery session, then it'll be really easy to design the logo and not have to go through countless iterations, right? And that's some of the problems that come up when I only get to do the logo design. So just something that is a preference of mine. But I'm sure other designers out there will be more inclined to just do a logo for you. So Another question here is, what do I expect in the Zoom call with Christina? Okay, great question, guys. So the Zoom call, normally I do this via the the discovery workshop. So the discovery workshop, given, COVID and whatnot, everything is just online. And what I've been doing is doing the sessions via Zoom, and it's very interactive. Basically, I just have the client on the one side and me on the other side, and we just popcorn right through each of the activities. So it's fairly easy, just a lot of participation, and that's pretty much what I expect out of my clients. I expect them, to show up live to the workshops so that we can work together and make sure that they have time set aside to do these workshops, because sometimes it can run, about an hour or two a day, depending on your schedule. But, I'm pretty accommodating. But, that's what I expect through these Zoom sessions, that you are fully attentive and opened and receptive to participating, and setting time aside with me to do this. And the other expectations via Zoom, I'll be doing a lot of the presentations of each of the phases to you via Zoom. And that is literally just presenting the visuals and closing it off. So everything's pretty much online, nothing in person at the moment. But that's just something to be aware of how you work with me. All right, so just another couple of questions here. I'm just going to unlock my screen. Okay, so what are the benefits of buying the full package? Okay, so this is a great question. So the package is really thorough. So you're going to get a lot of insight out of this branding package. You're really going to get a good understanding exactly who you talk to. You're going to know how to speak to them. And from there, you'll know how to cater your offer to them, as well as know what priority is within your business. So what comes first? Is it going to be offer one, or is it going to be offer two? So you're going to get really organized. You're going to feel very organized within your brand. And that's important, because if you're not organized, it's going to be very hard to try and run your business, right? So yeah, you're going to get clear on your ideal customer. You're going to have a beautiful brand that is emotionally attractive and that is pretty much on brand, that you're able to use consistently whenever you need it. Now, moving on to some of the other benefits, you're going to feel that your brand has a purpose now. So you're going to know, what you stand for. And that's very important, because if there's really no purpose to your brand's going to fall apart. So, that's something to really hold on to, because many people are attracted to people who have a purpose and a motive. And I think you're going to feel very confident after that. You're going to feel super confident to run your brand and super excited to start working with, the ideal people that you prefer. You're going to know just the focus. You're going to have a really good focus via your brand. You know where to go, where to show up. The brand is going to be extremely focused, so that you're not going to feel overwhelmed doing any of these things. So that's just something that I wanted to bring to the table and share with you guys today. And also, you're going to feel niched as well. So I feel that many people don't like to niche, but you're going to see the benefits of niching and how special, niching is. And you'll understand, why niching is important. A lot of people fear it, but you don't have to fear it. It's a really amazing tactic, and you'll see how happy you'll be running your brand. Okay, last question for the day. And basically, it is, what are your contact hours? Okay, so, well, when running, the brand discovery sessions, I'm going to be very flexible with some of my times because I know that some of you are from the other side of the world, which is amazing. And I love meeting other people from the other side of the world. And I like to accommodate depending on the time too. But I really try and be flexible with my time. Normally, I am between, 9 to 5, but I'm pretty flexible because we're living in a world where we can just work whenever we want. So, I mean, I'm going to be very flexible with whoever comes on board because I understand, the time differences and maybe lifestyle differences. So I really want to be accommodating to you. So yeah, that's basically all the questions that I have today about the package. And these are all amazing questions. I hope that these cleared things up for what I have posted right now. And if you have any additional questions, you can always DM me on Instagram. All right, guys, thank you so much for expressing interest and curiosity. See you guys. Bye.